We back and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. Coming to you live, putting on for the This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.
Welcome back to another edition of the 2-hour lunch break podcast, man. A podcast for Austin, from Austin. I'm your host, Trotwood Zeus, and today's guest is one of those artists who doesn't just make music, she creates experiences. Born in Sacramento, raised in Dallas, and now rooted here in Austin, she carries a voice shaped by contrast, grit and grace, vulnerability and power. Her sound blends folky soul, alt pop, rock textures, and dreamy ethereal storytelling. It's danceable, but it hits you in the chest. It's light, but it speaks to heavy things like mental health, transformation, and finding your voice. She's also the founder of StageJunkie Productions, building safe, intentional creative spaces in Austin, and she's not just performing in the scene, she's helping shape it. You may have seen her at Sahara Lounge, Flamingo Cantina, and other Austin venues. And if you haven't heard Crystal Ball yet, trust me, you're about to. Austin, get ready to step into the wild. Welcome Joy Melan to the show. How are you doing today?
Hello.
Hey.
That was great. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty good. It's a nice Tuesday for me. How are you doing?
Right. I'm doing pretty good. I was going to say I set this off air earlier, but number one, thank you for taking time out of your schedule.
Absolutely.
I know you're a busy woman. You got a lot of different pots on the stove. So, thank you for taking time out to come through. Now that I got you here, let's go ahead and, talk about your background, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I know you were born in Sacramento, raised in Dallas, right? Talk about that, experience a little bit and how those, two different environments kind of shaped who you are.
They are very different. I was in Sacramento till I was about 8.
Okay.
So what I can remember, I remember that we were the only black family in my neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
And if I'm going to keep it real with you, I had never met another black person that wasn't in my family until I moved to Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a little hard. Like I remember just kind of growing up and being a very, I guess like isolated. I was just like a kid that kind of kept to myself.
Yeah.
I would write in my journal, walk back home like to and from school by myself. And on the way home, I'd climb trees and like read in the trees. So I do feel like that kind of helped form who I am a little bit now.
Gotcha.
I'm very like, I disappear into the woods by myself a lot, and I think it's just like my safety, my comfort. So I miss the trees and like the nature in Sacramento. I think that was very grounding.
Right.
And the isolation in a surprising way was also very calm for me. We'll take the bullying away. That's also grounding.
Okay.
But
Right.
if you got one kid that's different, people are they're bound to do it.
Yeah.
And then Dallas was pretty crazy. I was very excited to move here
Okay.
because I was like, oh, there's some people that look like me, and
Right.
I'm not gonna stick out. And then I came out here, and everybody was like, who's that light-skinned weird girl? And I was like, no, I'm not weird. Why she talk like that? I was like, talk like what? I can say y'all.
Right.
But I do think being in Dallas and kind of being like the odd one out really did help me ground myself even more because I never changed.
Okay.
I feel like I could have very easily been like, okay, well, I'm going to do this because this is what everybody else is doing and I got to fit in. But I really never changed. I stayed that weird girl who likes to climb the trees at recess and all of that. And I'm pretty happy for it, I'm happy to still very much be myself.
Gotcha.
Keep my inner child alive.
Hey.
Yeah, keep it alive.
So talking about your musical journey, right? So when did you first realize music was something that, it wasn't just something that you liked, but something like you needed to do?
Surprisingly enough, I was like 21 or 2.
Okay.
I've always loved it. I've always written and sung and done all of that. But I did a lot of other things as well too. I've done like any creative thing you can think of. I've tried. I've been trying to figure out like which one was my purpose, and I let go of music for a little while and then kind of came back to it. But it wasn't until like, you know, I had some like hardships and stuff, I kind of was able to like focus, oh, this is the thing. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I've always had a love for it, but I didn't really think it was going to be my reality probably ever.
Okay. So I know I was doing some research into your story before, before we had got the interview started. And I know you had an interview where you talked about you were trying to go the traditional route, right? Like, so like house, business, almost getting married, right? All those different things, right? But that wasn't something that was fulfilling for you, right? So what was missing for you during that time?
So here's the thing, like, I'm so excited for that to happen to me one day.
Right.
What was missing was creating anything. I think like if I'm not creating, I just don't feel like a person. And the person that I was with was a little more minimal. They're like, they don't need all of these things. It was just kind of like, I just need this and I need you. And I was like, okay, well, I need you, but I need to do something. I got to get out this
outlet, right?
Get out this house. Yeah, I was like living on a ranch, pretty much alone. My partner like worked out of town all the time. And so it's just pretty isolating, and I wasn't feeling a lot of drive. This is also during COVID. So it was just like a hammer on all of these things. So I think what was missing is just really feeling like myself. I feel like I was trying to form fit into what I had seen on TV.
Yeah.
So I was trying to be like this perfect spouse and be like this, just like honestly, just like a perfect ideal woman in what society would say like a woman is. And in that, I just kind of felt like I lost myself because I feel like I'm a little bit of a free person. I am still a little traditional because of my family and all of that. But, you know, like I need to dress how I want to dress, and I need to speak how I want to speak, and I need to move how I want to move.
Got it. I completely understand. Okay.
And I think, you know, like we find the right person, they do that with you. Y'all are so like fluid, so it doesn't have that kind of clash.
There we go. Okay. So also, you know, talking about your background, you actually had like a near-death experience once upon a time, right? And that was kind of a turning point in your life. What shifted? Well, talk about that moment and what shifted for you after that happened.
Thank you for opening that door for me. Because I was like, I'll always get to it, even if nobody asks me. Because it is almost everything I write about, almost everything I do is hard not to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah. So while I was right after COVID had happened, I had like a really rare pregnancy.
Okay.
The ectopic pregnancy, and they're life-threatening.
Wow, yeah.
And very unfortunate for me. The doctors that were treating me were, awful. They had no idea what they were doing, so they mistreated it. And so for like 6 months, I was on this like really weird treatment, going like in and out of the hospital.
Okay.
And finally, after it was treated, I had like a year and a half of fixing all the problems that they had created.
Oh man.
There was so much scarring that they had done that I had created, like I had a tumor. And so it was like, okay, I was like, damn, I had this whole year and like now I have a tumor and now I have this. And it was just like constant like surgeries. And I think at the time I was like, I had just turned 21, 22. So I was just kind of thinking about everybody my age and what they're doing and what I'm doing. And I just thought about how unhappy I was with what I was doing with my life up until then. I was unhappy with where my life was right now. And I thought about what are things that make me happy. And then I just realized that I will always be in control of the things that I can be in control. Like I couldn't control what's happening with my body, but I can control what happens with my happiness. And once I realized that, I turned into like a extreme optimist. I don't care if it gets annoying to people, but like that was the hardest thing I could have ever done. And like if something hard happens, that thing already happened.
Right.
I can't change what happened, but I can change how I feel about it and how I'm going to move forward. So like I'll let myself be sad about something, but if I get in a car crash, I'm like, maybe the car was supposed to explode 2 weeks from now, and this is much better, and at least I'm safe. Like, and if it's frustrating to people, then it's frustrating, but it makes my heart feel better.
There we go.
And I just think that whole situation made me really reflect on what I want to do with my life and like who I want to be. And I didn't want to be a pessimist anymore. Yeah. And I also just realized like I went through so much pain. Let me put some use to it. So that's kind of how I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do it through music if I can.
There we go. Okay, so coming out of that situation, you ended up coming to Austin a little bit after that, right? So what exactly pulled you to Austin? Like, was it the music? Was it the energy in the city? Like, what brought you here?
So I've been in the area for a long time. I went to Texas State.
Okay.
San Marcos.
Yeah.
And then me and my partner at the time, we had moved to like a ranch in Kyle.
Right.
So I was like tapping my toes in Austin.
Yeah,
What I really,
like right there.
Yeah, I was right there, but it was just not close enough. And I really loved. I did love like all the freedom, and I just loved how everybody had such grit here. I was kind of in the comedy scene for a little while before I had fully moved, and I'm just like talking to all these friends without realizing these guys don't have anywhere to live. Some of them were like living out of their car, living out of their vans, or like hopping, but their energy, they were still so vibrant and so excited. And so when I had split with my partner, and I was also dealing with the health issues at the same time, and I wasn't able to work. I was also homeless. Oh, wow. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's do the thing. So I just, went to a bunch of campsites that were in Austin, and I tried to make it a good experience for myself. And I went to open mics like every single night, and I did that for about 2 months until everybody that I would see around downtown would go, "Hi, Joy. Hey, Joy. Hey, Joy. Hey, Joy." And I was like, okay, you know what? It's like, it's starting to be worth it. You have a little bit of community. Yep. But yeah, honestly, just like the drive and the grit and the creativity of Austin, I think is unmatched. I've never seen it anywhere else.
There we go. I love that. Okay. So changing gears, talking about your music a little bit, right? So I know your sound, it blends a bunch of different genres, right? I know I talked about that in the intro. Like, I know it's like, folky soul, rock, neo soul, even like some metal influence. Yeah, dude. Right? How did those different genres enter your influences?
I think it's just all the music I listen to. Because I've been trying to figure out what name to put to my genre. But I think it's just the fact that I listen to both sides of the spectrum. So I listen to like indie folk, just guitar. Right. You feel like you're floating on a mountain music. And then I listen to like System of a Down on that other spectrum and everything kind of in between. And I think I just want to curate music that makes you feel something. And I feel like those are the genres that really make you feel. Some of them make you feel anger. Some of them make you feel sadness. And some of them make you feel joy.
Gotcha. Okay. So I know in the past, you've mentioned, struggling with trying to communicate what's going on in your head, right? Yeah. How does songwriting unlock that for you?
That's a good question. I think your subconscious knows a lot more than you know. Okay. And I feel like when you're creating, or if you're painting or making music or dancing or anything like that, it's almost like your body communicates for you. Your body has a lot more knowledge than you yourself do. Yeah. Because you put that like little blinder, you're like, oh, I can't say that, I can't do that, but your body might. And so I think a lot of things, when they come through metaphors, they're almost more palatable for me. And when you're writing, it is kind of like a metaphor. So I'll hear a song, I'll hear some instrumental, and then I start writing to it. And then I finish it, and I'm like, what the hell am I talking about? Sharks and this and this. And then I'll realize, I'm this, and this is what it means. Yeah. And that's how I kind of realize how I feel about certain situations. Like I said, I am like a chronic optimist. And so, but like that doesn't, I'm not immune to certain feelings. And I think when I write music, I'm able to understand exactly what those are, but I'm able to understand it in like a really healthy way. Gotcha.
I love that. Okay. So I know a lot of your music is very danceable, right? But it also carries like a lot of heavy themes, right? Like it talks about like mental health and like, your own personal struggle, stuff like that. Why is it important for you to like rap that heavy truth and like movement and joy at the same time though?
That's actually, Joy Melan is Joy Melancholy. That's the whole thing. Yeah, okay. The whole thing is always the balance and that yin and yang and like how they're supposed to exist. The dark and the light, if you will. I feel like it is really important for us to release a lot of things. And I say this in the kindest way, but I am trying to trick people. Okay. I am secretly, it's like secretly inviting someone, hey, like you want to come to a pizza party? And they walk in and there's a therapist here. But they don't know that because they're still pizza. And I think that's kind of what I'm going for is some people listen to music for release and some people listen to it for like escape. So, if you're listening to Sabrina Carpenter, which there's nothing wrong with that, you're like, this is fun. It makes me feel about the club or boys or light things. Right. And then some people will listen to Lana Del Rey and they just can't because it's too real. It's too much. So I was trying to find that middle of the people that need that really deepness, that's what they need, and that's how they listen to music. And the people that just want to dance and escape, I found that middle of, you listen to the words, you're able to understand, you're able to feel them, and then you move your body and you release the words as we go on. There's a couple other bands and things that I know that do that. They're like Rainbow Kid and Surprise is an example for one of them for me. Like I'll dance the entire time, but if I actually start listening, you can feel like a sense of somberness, but it's not depressing. It's relaxing. It's calm in a certain way. So I guess I've been trying to replicate that.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So let's talk about The Wyld, right? How exactly did the band The Wyld come together? What's the story behind that?
So the band members themselves are all people that I've played with over the years.
Okay.
My drummer Thomas, we were in another band called Goth Dylan for a while, and we just like really connected, and he's also incredibly talented. Paige and I were in another band called Purse Wine, and she's been in I've had a lot of renditions of Joy Melan and she's been in all of them.
Okay.
And Evelyn Jackson's a very close friend of mine. She has her own band, and then Avery I met through Goth Dylan as well.
Okay.
I think I was going on a show, some TV show that needed a band, and I got everybody together and we played, and it was our first time playing together, and it was electric. We all like looked at each other. The producer was like, I don't know if this is your set band, but like, this is your set band.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, I guess this is a thing now. And it was just one of those things where when you have friends, they're all incredibly talented musicians, but they're also people I care for, and I think understand me to a certain level. So they know what I'm trying to do, and they also know what the songs are about, and they're trying to bring that to life. The name The Wyld specifically has like a bunch of different meanings. Okay. The spelling of it is because that clinic that messed me up. Called, I don't know if I can say it, but that name.
Okay.
I mean, I have no problem putting them on blast. They have like very little stars.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, that was part of the name. And then it's also a spin on wildflower. I love like flowers and botanical things, like finding the beauty in darkness. But I think what I'm trying to do is kind of curate a world. So it's Joy Melan in the Wyld. Okay. And the Wyld is supposed to just be this kind of like this mental, I'm going to keep saying this word, but mental state of release. And so that's when I'm always like, come step into the Wyld with us. And I feel like our shows, people say they feel like they're in a different world. And that's real. I'm really kind of hoping is like, I can take you from all the hardship in this world, bring you in this one. Now everything that you felt in this world, take it back and bring it back out on it.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, we can't live in fantasy land forever, but we can take a step in, take a step out.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so, with the Wyld, talk about that. Like, is Joy Melan solo different than Joy Melan in the Wyld energy? Like, is it like there a difference in the performances?
I wouldn't say too much. I think some people just like to keep their name. I've never really felt, it feels so weird to me being like, hi, we are Joy Melan. No, I'm Joy Melan. These are other people. These are other people. And I was trying to find that other half for so long. And yeah, Joy Melan in the Wyld does feel completely different. I do solo shows quite often. It's usually me with like a beat pad, and I kind of do all the mixing and stuff live. Okay. It doesn't feel much different to me. All I will say is I do think there's a different energy that I will give off just because I'm with my friends on stage. Yeah. But I still feel like that feeling of release. I think when I'm solo, I will say it's more intimate. That's probably the word I can give. It's just I feel more intimate with everyone, and I just feel kind of slower and calmer, but I am a little bit ready to party when I have my friends on stage with me. You know what I mean? I get that.
Okay, so one project you worked on that I was a really big fan of, I know you had a Tiny Desk submission, right? Which, like I said, number one, I'm a big fan of it. What made you decide to go for that and submit that? And how did that go once everything, once they received it?
Did not get in. That's perfectly fine. Okay. That was something I put together in 2 days because I did not know about them. I had a friend of mine message me because he saw like the ad on Instagram and was like, hey, you got 2 days. I think you should do it. And so I had to, my entire band was booked. So I had to get a band together. I had to get a rehearsal together, get a space, get a videographer and all of that.
Make it happen.
I did. I had like 2 days. I was at work making all these calls, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. But I'm not really discouraged because I did that in like 2 days. And so I'm like, imagine I have an entire year until the next
Right.
one.
Yeah.
I never get discouraged about those things. It's just a learning curve. And to me, like, it's just like, oh, okay, there's more I can do. There's better that I can do. And now, like, it was a really fun experience. I really did enjoy it. And I really enjoyed the support I got from so many. It was so sweet. It was just so sweet to see that amount of support from the community.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved setting up the stage design. So I love setting up this stage. So that was probably one of my favorite parts.
Gotcha. I love that. Okay. So let's go ahead and switch gears. Let's talk about Crystal Ball.
Yeah.
Right. So what was the story behind that song?
So Crystal Ball is about the time I got diagnosed. It's just so funny because it's such a beautiful song.
Right.
But like once again, I wanted to make a really beautiful song about death. So the entire song is just about my thoughts. When the first time the doctor told me that there's like a chance that there's a chance might not be here anymore, and that is just really hard to hear, especially when you're so young.
Yeah.
And I just kind of thought about how people would feel when I was gone. That was like, which is so strange, but that was my main thought. I was like, well, are people gonna be sad? Or like, are people gonna think back on good things about me or bad things? So there's that line, don't tell me how I die, just tell me if they cry. And that was just kind of my main thought. And so I think throughout the whole song, it's just that acceptance that I had. At first I was like super scared.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was like, you know what? Like, it's a cycle. This could be a very beautiful thing, and it's happening. There's nothing much I can do about it. So let me just try to enjoy everything as I enjoy it. And then I turned out to be okay. So
Gotcha.
I keep trying to go through life that way, not really afraid of what's going to happen, but just knowing that I can control myself right now, always.
Got it. Okay. So now, that we're talking about Crystal Ball. Let's go ahead and talk about your debut album, right? Cordelia Blue.
Ooh, Cordelia Blue.
Right. How was the process of putting that album together? What was that like?
It's been a couple years.
Okay.
It's been a couple of, hey, when's the album coming out? But I feel like you know those things where they're just not fully formed and you know it. There's more. The full idea hasn't come to you yet. And I do feel like I now have, I have the image down, I have the sound down, and I'm ready to really attack it. Finally, I have about 4 out of 9 songs already done.
Okay.
I actually did just commit to doing the rest of it at 512 Studios, so I'm really excited.
Hey, shout out
So shout out 512 Studios. I'm so I met Vase over there and showed him Crystal Ball, and he was just like, this is weird and different, and I'm really excited. So we're gonna be recording the rest of it there.
Okay.
The album itself is supposed to be, I use this word a lot, but like immersive.
Okay.
And it is a concept album. So it's an entire world. It's an entire world, and it's going to tell stories, and there'll be Easter eggs in certain songs, and there'll be a callback to this song. And I want to create a visual for each of them and make a short film out of it.
Oh.
So the album itself will pretty much be a short film. Everything will be released individually, but when you put it all together, it's going to be incredibly cohesive.
Okay.
And tell a story of Cordelia Blue.
Got it. Okay, so I know you mentioned earlier that people have been asking you about the release date, right? Do you got an idea when that's going to be coming out?
I don't have an exact date.
Okay.
But I do know that I will be done this year.
This year, okay.
I do, I don't have the date, but I do know I'll be done this. I have all the songs finished, and they just need to be recorded.
Okay, got it.
Because the way that I write, it's like it happens through life as well. I'll just be like walking on the street, I'll look at a cloud, and now this song came to me. And so I had like 3 blank spots on my list for the album, and they're filled now. And I think I just needed to experience what I was going to experience to write them.
Got
We're good. We're
okay.
ready. It's coming.
Now, hey, when the album release comes out, you got to run it. We got to run it back.
We got to run. Yeah,
we do. Get ready for the rollout for the album. So let's do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch gears. Let's talk about StageJunkie, right?
Okay, sweet.
StageJunkie was born out of wanting experiences, not just nightlife,
Yeah.
right? What gap were you trying to fill, in Austin?
the keep Austin weird part. I feel like it was getting lost a little bit at the time.
Yeah. Okay.
And I wanted to, create a space where for, some people have that little je ne sais quoi, and they get told that they're weird or they're different or they're this and this. And I want to just curate a space where everybody's welcome and everybody's feeling the same way, so you don't have to worry about like being judged or anything of the sort.
Gotcha.
That thing where you're watching TV and you're like, oh man, I wish I could go to something like that. I realized I can, and I can bring other people to that too. I have to create it. Yeah. Like there's anything that we can do and can go to, we just have to create it. So I've been trying to set out to create those things.
Okay. So I know you've done events, with StageJunkie. What's some stuff behind the scenes that the average person wouldn't know about as far as like trying to put an event together? Because I know it's a lot of moving parts.
The fact that you throw up you throw up on show day usually. Okay. It is. I had a friend stay with me when I was putting one together, and I was like, "Hey, you can stay home." He was like, "No, I'll run with you." And I was like, "You don't want to run with me." He was like, "Oh, it's just here." And I was like, "Yeah, you got to move faster."
Yeah.
I think a lot of the behind the scenes is people don't realize the money that you have to put into it, and the time. Yeah. And the time. So a lot of people think, okay, well, I made a flyer. I told a couple friends about it. All right, bring them in, bring out the money. No, like there's like incredible marketing that you have to do. There's so much money that you have to put into it. Yeah. Staffing. The first few I did, I tried to do them all. I tried to play in the band, host it, run tickets. I was a bouncer. I was a bartender.
You were trying to do a little bit of everything.
I was trying to do it all. I was like, I'm not hiring nobody. I don't have no money to hire y'all. So then the second one, I was like, I'm accepting volunteers.
Exactly.
if anything. So I actually started getting like a lot of UT volunteers because they needed the hours,
right?
And I needed the help and things like that. And then they were able to still like get tips and things like that.
Okay. And
it just seemed mutually beneficial until I was able to upgrade. I hate asking people to do things if I can't pay them. That's why I'm like, I'll just do it myself. Yeah. So I was able to upgrade and finally just get I had a staff for a while, and that was just fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's all the moving parts. You have to stay very, very organized. You have to keep lists in your head, especially if you're someone like me. If you have ADHD, on your phone, if you have a thought, put it in the notes because your mind is gonna race, and someone's gonna ask you this question, and you're gonna forget about that question. So it's just how organized you have to be, and then the fact that you have to do something for that event every day until it gets to that event. I don't care if it's 2 months away. You have to do something for it every day if you want it to be successful.
Gotcha. So, so with StageJunkie, has being like an event producer influenced any of the ways you operate as an artist?
The ways that I operate as an artist? A little more business oriented. I feel like I've always been that way. I ran a business a couple years ago. I ran a nanny business. And I feel like that's also helped the production, the artistry, but it has helped me on the side of marketing, on the side of being a band leader, and all of that is just like taking it as a business. Because I know a lot of friends who are just creative, and are like, I don't know how to write an email, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do this, and so I feel like it really just kind of helped me present myself and manage myself. Because I'm at the point, I would love a manager, but it's me right now, and so it really kind of helped me with the professionality side of it, and I'm appreciative for that.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and switch gears. Let's talk about the future, right? So I know you're working on your project Cordelia Blue. You got StageJunkie, right? So you got a lot of different pots on the stove. But with that said, as many things you have happening right now, what does 2026 look like for you? Do we have maybe like a tour, an additional album outside of Cordelia Blue? Like what does your future look like?
Year?
Yeah, for 2026.
I was like, another album. I'm actually planning a Europe tour.
Hey,
I'm really, 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 really
there
excited. I'm planning a Europe tour right now. I have Istanbul,
Turkey.
Yeah, I've never been. I've always wanted to go.
Right.
I have Ireland. I have London, and I don't have the exact place, but I'm planning on doing Spain and hopefully adding a couple more. So I have that kind of that mini tour. I would like to do a mini U.S. tour.
Okay.
Here soon, but I was kind of hoping to, make sure the album was finished so that can kind of be like a little release. But those are my goals.
Okay.
There will also be lots of music videos coming out soon. I went to school for film. I'm big. I don't care if people tell me music videos are dying. That's a lie. I don't believe them.
Right.
We need to see, touch, and hear, and all of that. So I like
many mediums as possible.
Absolutely. So I like to create like a visual. So as certain songs are dropping for Cordelia Blue, their visuals will be out because every song on that album will have a visual. So that is why I was like, it might take me a little bit of time, but it's gonna be worth it.
Okay. Now with Cordelia Blue, are there gonna be like any collaborations possible with that one? Who do we have in mind?
I have a friend from Colorado, Austin Garland, that I'm wanting to collaborate with. I don't know if this is going to be on Cordelia Blue, but I just was on a bill with this band Blush Fantasy. So it's Kenneth of Blush Fantasy, super cool, like 80s rocky picture horror band, and we're thinking about doing something together soon. So that's a collab that should be coming up.
Gotcha.
And my friend Evelyn Jackson, she has her own. She's in my band. She's in The Wyld, but she also has her own band as well. And this year we're going to be putting out just a quick little EP, about maybe 3 to 5 songs called 3 a.m. Muse. So all of our little 3 a.m. jams that we wrote together.
Gotcha. There we go. Okay, so another question, a little bit more on the personal side. Number one, you've overcome a lot, right? And you're also, like I said, you got a lot of things going. Like I said, you got StageJunkie, you got your new project Cordelia Blue that you're working on. With all that said, though, right? What does success look like for you now, and how has that definition changed for you over time?
What does success look like for me now? I feel like even as a little kid, I always defined success as being happy and stable. I would say it's similar-ish for me right now, being someone who's gone from having a lot of money, missed that job, to having no money. I feel like success for me, music-wise, as Joy Melan, is to get my music out to as many people that can hear it. Because like I said, my goal is to help and to heal, and that's going to be through the ears first or through the shows. And I mean, if it gets to the point where I got all these people that listen to my music and I got streams and I'm not making any money, I would still honestly feel successful if I was helping those people out.
Got it.
If I'm able to help heal them. So, but ideally, I would like to comfortably live doing my craft. That would make me feel successful as well.
There we go. I said we got to manifest that.
I want to manifest. I was like, I work as a homeschool teacher during the day. Love it. Love the children. Very tired. Doing both is very hard. So if I could gear towards one, I would like to continue to do music.
Okay. All right. So before we wrap up, we got our final question tonight, right? So we talked about this off air. So now that you got a chance to, pull up to the 2-hour lunch break, we got a chance to have a, good conversation, good vibes, everything like that, right? Now, with that said, who do you think would be a good guest for the podcast? But before you answer, this has to be, somebody in your contacts, somebody you know personally that you can reach out to and be like, hey, I'll put up to the 2-hour lunch break. You should come through, right? Who would that person or people be? Feel free to list as many names as you want.
I got 2. As soon as you asked me, I got 2 heavy hitters that I feel very strongly about.
Okay.
One of them is Ego Cells.
Okay.
She's been a friend of mine for a couple of years, or they've been a friend of mine for a couple of years, and they're so incredibly musically talented. And another, it's just really hard to find Black artists that are also kind of like alternative. And so we've been trying to maneuver in this space with being seen. They've just been climbing since last year. They're incredible. So I would bring on Ego Cells. They're hilarious. They're creative and just insanely talented. And then I don't know if he's been on here before, but if not, Jersey J. I don't know if you know Jersey J. Jersey J. He actually just got in for his official South by today, which I know he's been trying for years. So he's also just been kind of like skyrocketing, doing incredible. We met at an open mic when I first moved to Austin, and now to see where we're both at is really cool.
Gotcha.
I would say Ego Cells and Jersey J, like very fun people, very talented.
Okay.
would love to have him on.
All right, hey man, y'all heard it, both of y'all. Let's lock that in ASAP. You know. Okay, before we wrap up, let's go ahead and plug your social media handles. Where can everybody find you, and where can everybody find your music?
Okay, fantastic. You can find me everywhere at Joy Melan. Joy, Joymelan. Just found out if you Google me, that's all that comes up. Google Joy Melan and I'm on every single streaming service, and I got a lot of stuff on YouTube. But most of my stuff is on Instagram. If you want to know where there's a show going on or all of that, it's Joy.Melan, Melan.
There we go. All right, man. Well, that wraps up this edition of the 2 Hour Lunch Break podcast. Big shout out to Joy Melan for pulling up and chopping it up with us. Shout out to our production, Ever holding it down behind the boards. You can tap in with him on Instagram at Cafe Yodo. If you're rocking with the conversation, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications on YouTube so you don't miss a drop. New episodes of the 2 Hour Lunch Break stream every Thursday on all DSPs, and you can follow us on Instagram and X at 2HLBPOD. Austin, we do this for the city. A podcast for Austin, from Austin. Thank you for tapping in. We out. Hey.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.